Hey YouTube, welcome back. Shiva is kind of sleeping right now, so I will, throughout the video, I'll pan to some videos that I've recorded over the past 2 weeks. But if you want to right now, feel free to say hi. Yes, you're good girl. Oh, yes, you want the belly rubs. Oh, you're so precious. Yeah, it's nap time for her, and kind of getting the camera angle that I can right now. I'm also talking to you guys. It's just a bit difficult, so you guys bear with me through this video. There's a couple things that I want to address right off the rip with this video too. I didn't think that I would have to really do this, but I do kind of want to talk about it. First one is, this is not a backseat parenting video. In general, I've been having a lot of people try to tell me what to do, not understanding situations and being extremely judgmental. Just a friendly reminder for any content creators on the internet. It's cool that you guys look up to us and value us to an extent, but you guys don't know our full lives or what's entirely going on behind the scenes. I'm not going to judge you off of one little glimpse that I see into your life. I would appreciate the same being done back to me. I've got my reasons why I've done things that I have, and just because I don't address it every single time that I do something doesn't mean that that is the end all, and I shouldn't have to do that every single time. So I appreciate people who have been understanding and haven't been jumping the gun, being really rude about things. But I've had a lot of people think that Shiva is because she's so big already, because Rottweilers grow really fast, and a lot of people don't know that with the breed, thinking that like really dumb things, that even though she just turned 14 weeks old, she's a puppy, thinking that she's older than she is and making a bunch of rude comments. Or there's people that, again, just are backseat parenting, that it's fine to have your own opinions, but it's an entirely different thing to be rude and judgmental about it and force shit on other people that people don't agree with you with things, right? So I'd appreciate that. Not just, if you hate me so much for getting a Rottweiler, or for doing training a different way that you don't entirely agree with the way that is not inhumane, and that is what leaves you with not wanting to follow my content anymore. I understand. The other thing I wanted to kind of address too is like, thank you guys for putting up with my shitty schedule over the past couple of weeks. I absolutely love Shiva, but she has been a lot of work. I'm very sleep deprived. I know that the uploads have only been 2 or 3 times a week right now, even with some of them being streams. I wanted to get another review video out. I haven't really been able to do that, and a bunch of other things, because if you have a dog, or if you have kids, or whatever it is, it's a lot of work. Puppies are a lot easier than human infants, human children. So, but she's been a lot of work, and unfortunately she's had a lot of stress, because she did get flown over from Europe with everything going on, just kind of made her a little bit sicker because of stress and everything than we kind of anticipated and whatnot. So it's been a fiasco. I haven't gotten more than 3 hours of sleep straight at any point in the night, whether it be she has to go to the bathroom, or I'm attempting to do more than a 3-hour stream. So my energy right now has pretty much just been, I can only really muster streams right now. So even this has been this video has been delayed more than a week of what I would like. But again, I wasn't gonna rush something out that was gonna be horrible quality. And so I figured to kind of make up for that, I would do a somewhat of a Q&A with this video. So I'll put videos and clips that I've recorded over the past 2 weeks up while I'm answering some questions on here. But little stinker here sleeping, and getting the camera angle for that is just kind of a bitch and a half right now. Yeah, I guess that's really kind of the 2 big things. I know some people don't know what the heck it's like raising a dog, and don't know the time and effort and lack of sleep that goes into it. So if you don't know, that's why there's been lacking stuff. Oh, and actually one other thing too is there's been a lot of people coming over from TikTok wanting me to do vlogging and whatnot, when this is something that I've addressed before on the channel. I've addressed it several times on Twitch. I don't have a desire to do vlogging. If I'm traveling and there's something specific that I have in mind, I will do that. But I have no desire to vlog my everyday life or weekly. My reason, if I'm doing something specific with Shiva and I want to record it, some goofy dog videos together, or if I want to do a cooking thing with my mom, or when Dean visits, or just something fun that Taylor and I could maybe do, then I'm oh, this might be a fun YouTube video, I'll do that. But I don't like constantly carrying a camera around. I think it's too much. I already do so much with stream and everything, as well as I also like to keep some things about my life kind of private and not fully on social media. I'll do my stories and I'll talk to you guys if I'm doing things and kind of let you guys in that way outside of stream. But I I just don't like constantly having a camera around and shit like that. So hopefully that's understandable. I don't have any desire to be a vlog channel. I would like to do more IRL stuff again, but she's got to get a little bit bigger before I can be able to do a little bit more work and kind of focus on that stuff, right? So thank you guys. Hopefully that's understandable and getting all that shit out of the way. One of the big questions was what breed Shiva is. So Shiva is a German Rottweiler. You can tell because obviously she's got the Rottweiler marking. You're so cute, you're so good. Let me just rub in your face. I'm behaving. But she's got her tail. That's also how you can kind of tail. She does not have her tail docked. They generally do not for German Rottweilers. It's just different breeding standards and whatnot. I know a lot of the tail docking is getting phased out and whatnot too. So there's also that. And I'm glad, honestly, I really like her tail, so glad it's not docked. I did look at other dog breeds. That was the other thing that was asked by a lot of people, you know, why a Rottweiler? And my aunt had a Rottweiler. His name was Turbo. Absolutely loved him to death. He was the sweetest fucking dog. And so I was always kind of like biased, if like I was going to get a more protective dog, that would be kind of it. And I know there's a lot of women will kind of understand that, you know, there's a lot of times like going out and stuff that you have to be wary of your safety. Okay, well then you already add that, like, obviously I'm a girl. And then you add that, like, you know, my life is, like, on the internet, right? And there's a lot of, like, creepers out there and shit. So I do have things that I have to be concerned with my safety that I do not like addressing publicly. And I'm not going to go into details about it. But I do have to be concerned for my safety. And I have to be very wary of things. And I've already had, like, some concerning things happen. So, you know, I do have a gun license. I've had one for a while. It's just, you know, being raised in a rural, fucking middle of nowhere community. That's just something that, you know, it's pretty common around here, right? And I understand if people aren't about that and whatnot. But, you know, protection wise. And then, you know, I wanted something aside from that though. I really wanted to have a dog, you know, especially once Taylor is done with college and goes off to work with coding and everything. You know, I'm at home. I would like to have something more than just like a weapon. Like I would like, you know, a dog would make me feel more comfortable, but to a dog that is very protective. And that is what Shiva is. She's already portrayed that, being very protective on me several times now, which is in a good protective, not an overbearing protective either. She's very well, the breeder I went with is very world renowned for, like, you know, they're working dogs, service dogs, you know, whether it be show dogs. Like she's very, very, very caring. I've been looking at getting a Rottweiler for quite some time now. I was considering a dog with things getting kind of concerning back in December and January, more so towards the end of January. I was like, I'm going to pull the trigger now on this like whole situation and I'm going to look into getting a Rottweiler. And there was actually one I was going to adopt, a Humane Society, that was a year-old Rottweiler, but he had already gotten adopted before I could like kind of, you know, get him and everything. Two, I also just thought, you know, with what I was going to use it for and possibly be an emotional support dog, because I do have really bad anxiety, that I can't tell if I'm having an anxiety attack or not until it's past a really bad point that, like, you know, I'll have horrible pain in my left arm. I'll start having like a breakdown. My chest will hurt. I'll be hyperventilating. Like, you know, it'll be really, really bad. But my brain doesn't register it that I'm having an anxiety attack until my body starts failing and everything. So I really want to look into her helping with that, and would help me a lot with travel because I love traveling, but I get anxiety attacks traveling. So I think she'll be helpful with that, and especially like, again, with how she's like bred and everything, you know, the breeder knows what she's doing. And she's been doing it for years. I had over an hour phone call. She's really strict, interview process and everything. And, you know, I explained to her, you know, I've raised several dogs. I've trained several dogs. I've trained friends' dogs. Like, you know, so, and I have a family member that's had a Rottweiler. You know, it wasn't really anything that was going to be too new, as well as when I really want something or I think it's smart that I do something, I hold myself down an alley and I really research. You know, I researched the living crap out of, even though I already knew a lot about Rottweilers, I hold myself up and like just all I was doing was watching documentaries for the past like 6 months, 7 months. All I was doing was watching documentaries, just videos in general of like Rottweilers. I have breeding books, like, you know, things like that, just because, you know, I want to be the best Rottweiler mom that I can. And I think it's important for that. Plus, again, that's part of my like they just hyper focus on certain things and really fixate on it. So, you know, I feel more comfortable with that. This has been a breeze. She's so fucking smart already and everything. But yeah, so that's why, so I got a Rottweiler. I was on a wait list for a while. I've been on a wait list for her since March, and I got her at the end of July. So she's 14 weeks, a little over 14 weeks old right now. We got her when she was 12. There was a whole issue with her mom being stuck over in Europe for like show and working. So she got pregnant and everything bred over there. Then COVID happened. She couldn't fly back while she was pregnant, or because they weren't letting her fly back. And then by that point, when restrictions for allowing dogs to start flying back, once those started to get lifted, obviously the puppies had been born, so the puppies can't fly until they're minimum 10 weeks old. We got her when she was a little bit older, versus some breeders will give them out like 8 to 10 weeks, and she was 12. So, but I actually could have gotten a different litter back in the end of May, but I just absolutely fell in love with Shiva's parents, just their temperament, their work history, for being protective and like everything like that, you know. And Shiva's really proven herself. I'll be streaming, and if she heard the door open and she didn't see Taylor go outside, and she bulked up and she started growling and barking, notifying me that like someone just came in the fucking house, and Taylor walked in calmly, and then she immediately calmed down when she saw it was Taylor. So she's already good with that. The first few days that she was here, my mom tried to sneak up behind me and like really creepy like just to goof around, and you know, she wanted to kind of see how Shiva would react to like, also to just kind of try and scare me. And Shiva bulked up, you know, and she started growling and like being protective, and she didn't go at my mom, but she stood there and she was like alerting me, and I turned around and I'm like, oh hey mom, and the minute I was like, you know, chill and there was nothing to be alarmed about, Shiva chilled the hell out and she got excited and went and said hi to my mom. Like, you know, things like that. Like she has really good natural instincts. My anxiety levels, you know, being concerned with protection and stuff before I got her, and just already like have cut over in half, just because she already knows like is what I need. So it's been really, really nice. Like I can't explain to you guys how much better I feel, and I don't think I'll ever really be able to explain that. But yeah, so that's been really nice. If she thinks that there's people getting near the house that we don't know, you know, she'll alert me too. But she doesn't like bark aside from that, you know. I mean, she'll do it a little bit when she's like playing with Shiva, or when she was playing with Indy and Guinness, but like, you know, not aside from that. It's really refreshing. So the other question was why we named her Shiva. A lot of people are asking that. So I actually originally wanted to name her Morgan, but I wanted to do like a female name based off of a video game character, and Morgan from Quake is like, he's just super badass. He's cool. It's like my favorite game, my FPS game, and I was like, oh, we could get away with that. Well, Taylor was like, I feel like that's kind of too human of a dog to have a name for a dog, and I was like, okay, so we'll compromise, which is totally fine. I love her. I love Shiva. But I was like, well, what about Sheik? I don't want to do Zelda because that just would be super fucking obvious. And then he's like, well, what about Shiva? And I'm like, oh, like Final Fantasy 14, the only Final Fantasy game that I've played. I'm like, you know, her. And he's like, well, actually Shiva is like the, you know, goddess of destruction and all the other Final Fantasy games too. Like she's a reoccurring theme. And I was like, oh, that's even like neater. Like, you know, I'm really leaning towards that. And so that's what we settled on. I'm sure that a lot of people brought up, right? Shiva is based off the like Hindu god. I guarantee the Final Fantasy 14 based it off of that. But like, and for our specific naming, that was not what we were naming her off of. So when people, I don't know why people are like trying to twist this story when I don't know, people are like trying to twist like why we've named her what, or even though I've made it really clear otherwise. I don't know why that's a thing. Also, a lot of people asked if there were any other dog breeds or dogs that I was considering getting before Shiva. I talked about that there was a Rottweiler that we had looked at, but the reason I wanted a Rottie over a German Shepherd or a Doberman or a Belgian Malinois, Rottweilers they're more likely to calm down when they need to, and then they also just don't have the energy levels of those dogs, which is really nice. So I think those are gorgeous dog breeds and everything, but I don't need a dog that's, you know, with my lifestyle. You know, I'll still take her out. I do like going outside, like hanging out with my other dogs and everything, and like, you know, I know that Rottweilers really like swimming, which is a thing if you didn't know that. So, and Guinness and Indy love retrieving, so I know that she's going to be able to join with them. She just fits with our lifestyle way more. She's more relaxed than what a different dog breed would have been that we didn't need. And Robert asking, you know, she is a German Rottweiler, yeah. Cost-wise, it really depends on what you're getting them for. Shiva has the tiniest bit of an overbite, which disqualified her from being a work and show dog. So she can outgrow it very easily. That happens pretty often with dogs. Not always, but even then it's not a health problem. I am not to breed her and stuff, obviously, and I have every intention to get her spayed. I don't have any desire to breed her. I know that was another question that got asked a couple times. But that has a difference in price quality. It's like pet quality versus, you know, if you're getting a show or work dog. But that is the only thing that disqualified Shiva. So I got her for cheaper than what, you know, if she would have had like the perfect scissor bite and not the tiniest bit off with her bite, then, you know, she would have been every bit of around, you know, $4,000 or something like that. Because they can go, Rottweilers can go up to like $5,000 if they're working in show quality. It really depends. Normally, the difference between generally pet and like working is the drive. But they do have to meet like really specific requirements, which again I get, because you don't want to have an unhealthy dog, especially if they're helping with certain fields, right? So anyways, feel free to do your research and stuff on that you will. I'm not gonna say what I got her for, but I got her for I got it. God, you were just having the time of your life. And she's really well bred and everything. Good girl. So more than reasonable. I appreciate her, and I don't know if you hear her dreaming in her sleep right now. Oh, she's growling. Yeah, she's a little crack up. I felt bad. It's been a little fiasco having her. She had a UTI, which our previous 2 dogs had them, which kind of sucked. I felt really bad about that. So we had to get her on antibiotics pretty quickly. And then we also had, a couple of weeks later, I had to take her to the vet anyways for her, like, shots, right? Because the dogs get their booster shots, right? And there's, like, several of them. But anyways, so she had her 3rd rounds that she was just getting. And she's been having, like, diarrhea and everything. And I was, like, really concerned. I was like, does she have a bacterial infection? Like, she doesn't seem dehydrated, blah, blah, blah. Like, none of this other stuff. And talked to the vet. And when dogs have flown, especially, there's a stress period right after when they come back. But once they get acclimated, it is very common for dogs that have flown from overseas and come back, so like around a 2-week period, which is about how long she's been here for now, that their bodies tend to get pretty damn stressed out. And they're fine, but, you know, they'll have diarrhea, they might be a bit nauseous. So she's all good, she's all healthy and everything there. Like, they checked her out, he's like, she's healthy as an ox, her lungs, heart sounds great, she's not dehydrated, like, they ran all these tests and stuff. So she's good, which made me feel a lot better. But I was like, you know, checking on her every hour, and I ended stream like not even 2 hours in because, you know, I felt really bad. She was feeling sick, but she's all good now. She's got some anti-nausea medicine and helps with her diarrhea and everything right now, which she doesn't really have too much of it anymore, which is good. Have you experienced the puppy blues with Shiva or with your other dogs? Not really. The puppy stage is really cute, don't get me wrong. Like, it's adorable, like, they're super soft fur and everything, but I love big dogs, so I can't wait for her to grow up. You know, have a giant, you know, 90-pound cuddle bug, because, like, her mom was 93 pounds and her dad was 130, so since she's not going to be, like, a working dog like her mom is, she probably won't quite hit the 90, but she also very well could. So, yes, I can't wait for her to get bigger. I'm very, very excited for that. I love big dogs. But yeah, it's like Guinness and Indy. Like, I don't miss their puppy stage. Like, they're cute and it's adorable for the time being, but I just like grown-up dogs. So I know I won't have the puppy blues. I'll be good. Well, I include Shiva in streams from time to time. So there's that and like the question about the puppy cam. So stream is lucky if they see her 1 to 2 times a stream. I refuse to have her be a show pony, and I mean that in the most polite way. I know people want to see my dog, and she's adorable, and, you know, she's cute, like, everyone wants to cuddle her and everything, but she's not a show pony. I want her to understand that there's a time and place for relax and working, which is what I want her to do when I'm streaming. I also don't want I don't want chat to get into the habit of, you know, oh, this is a dog stream now, because that's not what my stream is. My stream is my chill, my gaming time, you know. So I don't mind if she wants to come over and she's awake and I can show her to stream really quick. But I'm not going to sit there and have a dog cam up. I don't like a bunch of overlays. I already don't really, you know, there's a reason I don't vlog. I don't like a bunch of cameras sitting around and shit. So having an added camera to kind of like sit around is kind of that will annoy me. I also, even though I have a really nice setup in terms of camera and lighting quality. Like, I've been messing with that shit for over 5 years now, so I understand how it works. So in my setup, it's like studio quality shit, right? So that's why obviously, like, this is natural lighting, and with my phone looks entirely different than, you know, I'm streaming in the dark. I'm using a expensive camera, and I have a LED light, right? That I'm using to bounce off of walls for a specific type of reflection. So with that being said, because it is dark in that room, even though it doesn't look dark to you guys, it is dark in that room. I just know how to use my lighting and my camera. You know, you're not really going to see Shiva, even if I did get a dog cam. So that's the big reason for that. I also I don't want people pestering constantly for me to throw the dog cam up because, you know, one, as a viewer, I would think that would get annoying to a streamer. But two, if there's an opportunity to have a dog cam and you start showing some people it, they're going to want it 24/7. So I would rather YouTube be the place to come. Like, I'll do dog videos once in a while, and like, or just follow me on social media, because Instagram stories and Twitter, I've been posting a lot of dog pictures, and I also record a lot of just videos of the dogs goofing around in general on my Instagram. So there's like, that's always a whole nother option without feeling like it's too intrusive to my lifestyle and my business, right? Am I going to get him or her a friend? Shiva, if we get her a friend, it won't be for like 2 years from now. I think that's like a good age to consider getting another dog, but it's just going to depend on what's going on with our lifestyle. Taylor and I don't even know where we're going to really move to. So if you don't know, our current living circumstance is there's not really most of Illinois, unless you're like right in Chicago area, it's really hard to find places to rent. So my parents fortunately have some room for us, and we rent part of, we rent space off, appropriate space, and, you know, utilities, like all that shit, you know, and I don't have to do that, but I don't feel like that's appropriate to my parents to not do that stuff. It's just how I was raised. Maybe it's overly prideful, but I feel like that's more than fair. So anyways, we rent from my parents. Taylor, part of the reason we moved back, you know, we didn't like the weather in Washington most of the time, a bunch of other things. There's more cons than pros. And long story short, Taylor decided to go back to college. So it works out well, you know, having, you know, roof over head and appropriate rent, because we can't find anywhere else to rent unless we buy around here. And, you know, love my family anyway, so it works out. We all get along super fucking well. So while Taylor finishes his college, you know, we don't know where we're going to be at in a year or two. It's going to depend on where he gets his job at. You know, are we going to move to a city? Are we going to go to a different state? We don't really know. Don't know if we're going to get her a friend or not. It's going to depend on the whole living circumstance and everything. I really like the dynamic of Guinness and Indy, and just how she really likes hanging out with Indy, even too, like, they bond so fucking well. Is the sock still intact? Okay, so background story. Guinness and Indy had a sock that was my mom's. It was just a sock after my mom had worked out. Guinness really liked it, and when he was a puppy, he just would like sit there and play with it or like suck on it. And well, we've kept it, and then Indy ended up having the same thing, and they've had it since they're older. Well, now we have Shiva, and Shiva really liked the sock too, and I was telling Stream about it, and someone in chat, I'm so sorry I can't remember your name, but someone in chat brought up the suck sock, like calling it the suck sock, and I was like, man, that's what we're calling it from now on. Well, of course, like, as we've named it the suck sock, it's ruined. Like, not even 2 days later, I had to tweet it out on Twitter. I was like, I need F's in the chat for the suck sock. So after, you know, 4.5 years, the suck sock is gone. Everybody home now that I'm recording. So, was it hard for her to sleep in her crate for the first couple of nights? Also, Taylor's over here now.
Yes.
Yeah, it was, but she caught the hang of it pretty quickly. Crate training you can make easier by giving them stuff that smells like themselves. Fans, radios, or something that smells like you can help them a lot. So, you know, she had a towel that we traveled with when we picked her up originally, and she did super well. She goes in there to hang out once in a while, that and her pen. So it's her little safe space. But yeah, no, the mom came home, so I was talking with all of them. But yeah, so the crate training thing to make them more comfortable, you know, you can do those methods. At the end of the day, a crate is supposed to be, like, dogs are den animals, wolves were, and whatnot. So making them feel comfortable and that that's their safe space is the most important thing that you can be doing with crate training. Shiva goes in there on her own now when she wants to and just hangs out. She'll do it with her pen as well. Like, she knows that's her safe space or hangout space. And a really good way to do it too when you're starting to crate train your dog, and I don't know how many people know this, like, we've just done it because, like, you know, we've raised so many dogs at this point. But when they start falling asleep outside of their kennel, or their crate, whichever you call it, putting them in their crate so that they know that that's like their sleepy spot. That helps a lot. And so she had really no problems taking to it after like a couple of nights. And even then, like, the reason she was crying so much was because she had a UTI. She had to keep constantly going to the bathroom. So once she got on antibiotics, that also helped. I don't think she really had too big of a problem because she took to the kennel pretty fine during the day and everything. As well. So I think a lot of it was she just had the UTI and she was really uncomfortable and had to constantly go to the bathroom. Was she taught to sit down, or are you training her to be like that? So it was because we got Shiva. she was 12 weeks old. She already understood a lot of words. She already understood no. She pretty much already understood how to sit. The only thing we have to correct her is like a good sit, because later on you want to make sure that they don't get bad hips, and dogs that tend to sit on their hip and everything, it's more harmful in the long run. That's so we try to just correct that. That's really the only thing we have to do. She understands lay down for the most part, knows how to stay. She's really good. She's really smart, but I think a lot of that is to do with that. It's the Rottweiler breed thing. Her parents are her parents, and she's comes from a good line of genetics and everything. And hello. But yeah, she's super good. Like, we can mess with her paws, we can stick our hand in her mouth, there's no problem. She'll wait for her food. I can feed her like a little bit of her food, and she just takes the tiniest little gentle nibbles. I can smack my hand around in her food, and she's got zero problems. Like, she's very sweet when she's got people she trusts around, so we won't have to really worry about any problems. She's not overly territorial. Like, she's got a very good mix. But yeah, so training, we have some trainers in mind that are around here that we're planning to go to, but everything's really wonky because of COVID, so I don't know if they're still doing the training thing or not. But that being said, like, because we've gone to it before, we already kind of know what to do. But it's more so the socializing environment for the dog that's really good about going to training. So whether it's not right now, I'm still planning to take her, just for the socialization aspect. And it's a good reinforcing thing to see other dogs doing that in front of you, like a group of dogs. But I'm already starting to train her and having her watch how I work with Guinness and Indy outside when they're like retrieving and everything. Thank you guys for watching. I hope a lot of this has answered your guys' questions. It was a little different film-wise. I hope I can do... Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it.
Tribesmen.
You're giving me kisses? Oh, thank you. You're so nice. Thank you, honey. Yeah, she's really good. I can't wait for her to be, in more videos when we do more traveling, and all of that shit. So I'm sure you guys will be seeing more of her. Until things calm down, though, this whole year's been a mess for any IRL plans that I had. Hopefully we can get some stuff rolling in like October, and things go a little bit more back to normal. So we'll see about that. But yeah, hopefully this answered a bunch of the questions that you guys had. Thank you so much for watching, and welcoming Shiva into the community. She's great. I love her. I can't wait to show her off a little bit more when she gets older, and the journey that she's going to be on with us is going to be great. So thank you guys. I know Shiva appreciates it, that you guys, I can stay at home, and did you take a beanie? she's repping the merch. Yes, I know, you dork. You're such a goofball. You're such a goof. I know. Yeah, she knows how to drop it too, but yeah, she just wants to sniff everything. Which, by the way, those of you who bought merch, like, I don't know if you've seen like my tweets or anything on that. Thank you guys so fucking much. It was way more people bought merch and stuff than I had expected. So that was wild. Here, that's your alien toy. That's your alien. That was wild, but you guys also really like it's helpful to me, but you guys helped out a whole business for Streamers Warehouse. They're small family owned like company and they do a fantastic job. Like the merch, the quality of stuff that you guys got, like I'm so blown away and happy with how it turned out, and I knew they would do it right. And this is why I didn't want to go with like some half-assed like public company and everything. Hey, but it came out really good, and you guys there's machines that Tim didn't know he was going to be able to pay off, that you guys allowed him to be able to do and invest in, and he's putting out products that he's really passionate about that we can hopefully put more down the line. But I'm excited for the next launch. The next launch will probably be around October, if I were to bet, or what we're kind of banking on. And then I would love to do a Christmas launch, but I don't know how I just don't know how that's going to turn out with everything. So we'll see on that front. But thank you guys
for watching, and come say goodbye.
Yes, thank you guys for watching. Shiva, I know, appreciates it. I appreciate you guys. You've been fantastic. We just got verified on YouTube, by the way, so thank you all.
You're doing so good.
Thank you guys for that. That's nuts. We just hit 250K. I think we're already at like 260 when I'm starting to record this video. I'm hoping I can have some stream highlights stuff up here soon. I know a lot of you guys wanted to see Fall Guys. So that will be up soon. I've got my editors kind of prioritizing that. And then also I ordered a VR finally. So me and the boys will be playing that soon. Me and the Brave Skis. So that'll be coming to the channel. Thank you guys seriously for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for everything. The milestones that we've hit and all that other crap. I can't wait to look forward to the rest of the journey with this channel and the community and all that crap and all my little fun times, a little stink butt Shiva, more down the line. So thank you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you enjoyed the video full of puppy pics and videos as I went, kind of talking over, answering your guys' questions. And yeah, have a good one, Stinkies. Don't forget, by the way, all my social media, exact same as my name here on YouTube, KRUZADAR, whether it be, you're looking for TikTok, if that ends up staying around, my Twitch that I go live on almost every single day, Twitter, Instagram, all that crap. So seriously, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. You have a good one. Bye.
Book club, and you are going to the meeting.
Hey, Brian, how about you go to that meeting for me, huh?
Yeah, I don't think so.
She's watching Family Guy.
Huh? You remember what I did for you last week? Slide softly to the